Right, we're ready to continue on with Arkansas. Coach Musselman along with Stanley, Umude, and Toney, and we'll ask Coach for some general thoughts, then we'll take your questions just for the two student athletes, and then we'll finish up with Coach. Coach Musselman?
Totally outplayed, outreacted to loose balls. Texas A&M outplayed us and deserved to win today.
If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll start right on the middle aisle.
This for both players. Maybe Stanley could take it first. You guys have played so well, gosh, for about 2 months now. Even when you've lost, they've been really good. You played pretty well. What do you think was the difference today? Do you just credit A&M, or what do you think happened to you guys today, especially in that first half when you fell behind?
I don't think we don't want to take anything away from them. They played good, but I think they were more together than us today, and they just played harder.
The same for Audis.
To piggyback on what Stanley was saying, they was just a tougher team, and we just got too relaxed and too comfortable, and they just made us pay for it.
All right, next question on the right. Go ahead.
Guys, obviously a disappointing result today, but tomorrow you're going to learn your destination for the NCAA tournament. Are there lessons to be learned from this game to carry into that, or is this one that you just flush and turn the page on and move on?
Is that for both players?
Maybe for Stanley.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get better from it. Obviously, we got to make sure that whoever we do play in the tournament, we can't come out like that because we'll be going home early if we do. So I think we just got to make sure that we all got the right mindset going into our next game.
Raise your hand if you have other questions. Okay, back to the center.
Hey, I get obviously that was a disappointing game, but you guys have both played a lot of college basketball, and you're going to get to finally go to the NCAA tournament. You're going to find out tomorrow. I mean, how much does that help when you get over a tough loss? Because the next day you're going to get some real news and some exciting news, especially for a couple older guys. Yeah,
both players.
Yeah, both players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Audis?
It feels exciting. I've never been to the tournament, so looking forward to being able to play in the tournament with my guys. Is a blessing.
Yeah, same with me. I've never been to the tournament. It's always been, something I've wanted to do in college basketball. But right now that loss hurts. Maybe when we see our name up there, I'll feel a little better.
Raise your hand if you have another question for either of the student athletes. All right, back to the middle.
You guys have been a comeback team during this long stretch. Overcome a lot of deficits. And Stanley, I think you hit like three free throws to pull them to 5. I think you guys got within 3. But it seemed like whenever you guys would put yourselves in position to overtake them, they come out and get 6 or 7 point run. Well, what do you think about the way they were able to answer when you guys were coming back on them?
Is that for Stanley?
How about both guys?
Okay, Stanley, you want to take it first?
Yeah, like I said, I think they were just more together than us the whole game. We didn't have a lead, I don't think, at all the whole game. So, they just did a good job of managing their lead, and we couldn't get over that hump.
Audis?
And just the little details that Coach always told us, the little details that adds up a lot. And we didn't do the little details, and they made us pay for it on the end on offense. And it was hard to come back from that when a team is shooting well like Texas A&M was today.
We'll take one more question. Anyone for the student athletes? If you'll raise your hand. Okay, last question. Center aisle.
I know you guys weren't here last year, but Arkansas got beat in the semis, tough loss. Then went on went to the Elite Eight for the first time since 1995. Is that something you guys can take and say, hey, team? I mean, a lot of good teams are getting upset in their conference tournaments. That doesn't mean they can't have a good NCAA tournament. Or what I guess how do y'all feel about that? Maybe Stanley and then Audis could take that.
We came here to win the tournament, and we came up short. So it's tough, but it is a blessing to at least know that we have more games, or at least one more guaranteed game. So we're just gonna try to regroup and keep going from here.
Audis?
Yeah, it was heartbroken. We wanted to play another day, and we came up short. But now we got to go back home and regroup, get our minds right, because now it's survival. So you never know. So we got to make this push in this tournament.
All right, we'll excuse the student athletes. You can return to the locker room. We'll continue on with questions for Coach Musselman, so raise your hand and we'll get a floor microphone to you. Let's start on the far right in the back.
Coach, JD, and Jalen just combined for 9 points today. I'm curious what you would attribute some of their struggles to, and if there was anything in particular you saw from A&M when they were defending them.
Well, I mean, JD, obviously the foul trouble was problematic. It wasn't just offense. I can't remember JD's defense like that since we've been together. So it was both sides of the basketball, to be honest with you. It wasn't just offense.
Next question, center aisle.
Eric, you guys have played so well, even in losses through the last 20, 21 games, whatever it's been. What do you think happened today, and was it maybe just time for you guys to have an off game maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that, that's why these things happen. But having said that, we didn't play very well at all. Not happy about it at all. Got a lot of things we got to work on and get better. When you come to a tournament, I've tried to talk to the players about number one, understanding and respecting how hard it is to get to a championship in any of these conference tournaments, and there can be no distractions whatsoever. So getting ready for this next tournament, your mind's got to be right. And if it's not, you're going to play one game and come home. Any team. So today, that was not what Arkansas has been over the 2 months. It was, we didn't guard the three-point line early in the game. Technique-wise, the way that we're supposed to. They went 8 of 15 from three. That's not a percentage that you can ever win with, especially with our lack of three-point shooting, because we know we're not a great three-point shooting team. We haven't been all season long. And when we don't guard the three, this type of thing happens.
Hands up. Let's go to the second row on the right.
Coach, what did A&M do defensively that you think gave your offense fits today?
Well, one, we started the game off throwing the ball. That had nothing to do with their defense. We literally threw the ball 4 feet from a post-up play. But give A&M credit, because we're not the only they just did it to Auburn yesterday. And they did it to Florida and had a very large lead on both teams. So give them credit. They're playing really well right now. Our league is a bigger league. They're the outlier right now by playing 4 guards. And they're able to do that because 23 has got such great toughness and can guard. So credit them, because, again, they beat the number 1 seed in the tournament yesterday, and they did the same thing to us. And for most of the game against Florida, so they're playing really well. Like I said, they're an outlier in how they play. Our bigger lineup couldn't out-rebound their smaller lineup. We went small, and that didn't work. But again, I mean, you can't turn the ball over, 15 times and shoot the ball 3 of 18. The 3 of 18, quite frankly, Auburn took 23s yesterday in the first half. So you got to get to the foul line a little bit against their defense. And 18 free throws not enough at all.
Next question in the back, in the middle.
Coach, similar situation last year, getting out in the semis, and I remember, like you are now, frustrated just with the loss. Is there anything that you may have told this team last year that you use to tell this team this year as we get ready for the NCAA tournament?
I mean, no, I mean, right now I'm worried about this game, the holes. We don't have anybody to prepare for right now. So I'm not, the NCAA tournament, we'll worry about that tomorrow at 7 o'clock at night. I'm going to do our post-game reports and get film to guys individually. There'll be a lot of it because we got to get better. I mean, that's not how we want to play. So I'm not brushing this under and crumpling up the stat sheet and saying, well, tomorrow we get to see who we're playing against and we'll get ready for the NCAA tournament tonight. No, we got to dissect this game. And then, like I said, when we know who our opponent is, we'll get ready to play them.
We got time for one more question. All right, take it right in the middle. Go ahead.
Yeah, Eric, you guys cut it to 3 one time, cut it to 5. It looked like maybe you guys were going to do what you've done in so many games and get control of it or get the lead anyway. But they answered. What do you think was the key to that? And I guess how much of that impressed you they were able to do that?
Well, some of it was self-inflicted, Bob. Stan had hit 2 threes, and he was 1 pass removed from a swing for another wide-open 3. He was wide open, and we took an ill-advised shot. And then we went down and did not defend the way that we're capable of. So they made they countered. You know, every time we punched, they countered. You got to give them an immense amount of credit. But we also have to look and see how we didn't guard like we're capable of and didn't share the ball like we should be capable of.
Thank you.